Distinguished adventurers, welcome to the Sketching Hour. I'm Lauren. I'm your humble person who's doing all of the talking, and with me are two amazing artists who are all about otters. That's right. It's Otter Week. Why? Because otters. Because otters are fun. Alexis, would you go ahead and introduce yourself and why you love otters?
Hi, I'm Alexis. I'm the lead otter on Untitled Champions, and who doesn't love otters?
Okay, I love that so much. Michelle, would you introduce yourself and tell us why do you love otters?
Hi, Michelle. I'm an artist at Codename Entertainment, working on a lot of the monsters, and I love otters because I love how they float and hold hands.
Yes, we have decided for this week, and I think if you watch all of our art streams on this channel this week, you may see a running theme of otters. Why? Literally, it's because we just love otters. There's honestly nothing else. It's just they're adorable. So normally, all three of us would be rolling on the beautiful tables that you can see on this side of the screen, but because we're just automatically going for otters, for our cute animals, we're not going to have to worry about that. I'm not going to roll this week. I believe, Michelle, you're doing the monster roll and Alexis is doing the adjectives. So
Yeah, that's right.
Go for it. Let's see what kind of otters we end up with. Arters? I'm going to do that way too many times today.
Oh, we got a fancy otter.
We've got number 9, Beholder Otter.
A beholder. a fancy beholder otter. All right.
Wow.
That's awesome. All right, let's come on over to our Magma Studios where our two artists are going to be able to collaborate. I mean, oh, look at that otter that's already there. Oh, they look so sad.
Because he's going to get erased and replaced with an abomination.
Replaced with a fancy beholder otter. I think this is now the second time we've had fancy. So future,
Right.
we're going to have to replace fancy on there. But for the moment, I kind of like the idea of a fancy beholder otter. For those of you who are joining us, this is a show where our two artists, otters, these are words I'm going to have problems with today, apparently. These two wonderful artists are now going to take the words that we have rolled on these tables and they're going to craft art while I get suggestions from chat on new things that we can add to the table, on names for these creatures that we are creating, for stories about how you end up with a beholder otter. That's actually fun to say. Beholder otter is that's kind of fun. Fancy beholder otter. And also, if you're looking for the chess code for this week, it's above my head. This is in reference to our last show last week, in where, as I'm going to show off now, we had overgrown owlbear foxes, which is like three beasts in one. And this is what was created. We had Hoot and Holler, our growl bears. They're adorable and also fearsome, and like to sleep in leaf piles.
I love those names.
Yeah. Chat came up with those names. So chat came up with a lot of good names for the owlbear foxes last week. So I'm excited to find out about beholder otters. But yeah, we're going to be taking some suggestions from chat now that we've kind of got the ball rolling here. Oh, actually, what I should do, I'll leave it Otter Week is the name of this week's episode. Why not? It's Otter Week.
Mm-hmm.
But otter was something that was on the cute animal table. And obviously beholder is something that is currently on the table. And fancy we've now come up with a couple of times. So chat, I would love to start getting some suggestions on replacements for next week for all of these words. If you have suggestions for a cute animal, a monster, or an adjective, just go ahead and put it in chat and let me know. Our moderators are in chat and are going to be grabbing some of the questions and some of the suggestions that you will be putting in there. I'm also going to be keeping an eye on the chat. Thank you, Sasha and Jay. We love you for doing awesome jobs. And, Andromech, I love the idea of an invisible creature. And I think that is funny.
Will we just take a break that week?
It's just me. And by the end of it, I'm like,
with a blank screen.
Exactly.
Yeah, we swear we're drawing something.
Absolutely. Why are Michelle and Alexis so quiet? Well, they are silenced and they're creating something invisible. It's a whole thing. And then you the two of you just tell me about the coffee that you had, the coffee break that you went out on. That's I do find that funny though. Props to you. That's hysterical. We've had echidna come up. I do like that some of the suggestions come up a bunch. Disheveled from Our Green Paradox. That's
a good one.
Yeah, that might only work with a creature that has clothing. Or that might work better, I should say, with a creature that has clothing, but...
Oh, we just have to give whatever creature, like, a cool jacket. It's disheveled.
There you go. Just like a lot of hair, even if it's just on their head, so they can have some sort of cool bed head.
I'm just imagining like the penguin basilisk wearing like a jean jacket with like roughed up elbows.
I mean, now I kind of want to go back and just ask you to redraw all of the creatures in cool jackets.
Yeah, maybe just like 90s themed though, just for fun.
Oh, well then they gotta be... All right, so one has to be jean jackets and one has to be leather jackets. So you have like the Fonz.
Yeah,
and one of the other characters from Happy Days, whose character names I do not remember because it's why would you remember anyone but the Fonz? I'm sure someone in chat is gonna remind me of other characters from Happy Days, or maybe not. I don't know. I'm pretty old. Fashionable, busy, late-harried wombat. Do we have... See, this is the interesting thing. Usually as people recommend creatures or monsters, I go back to the rolling tables and I'm like, I wonder if that's on here, except I don't currently have the list of cute animals. Because it's just Otter Week. So all suggestions are welcome.
Yeah, I can always pull it up, but I'm not sure if my cute animal list is completely up to date. We might have made some changes to it.
I'm trying to keep on the cutting edge of cute animals and monsters, and so I'm constantly updating that list. Well, I will just add stuff as they come on in.
And I think the cute animal of the week on the internet changes like every 30 minutes, maybe.
Although it circles back.
It does.
It kind of depends on if you follow We Rate Dogs or not. If you follow them, then kind of on a regular basis, you end up with dogs, which is all good. I'm always happy with that. I love that now the chat is full of otter puns. You otter know that's the way to my heart is. Yeah. I mean, kittens and puppies usually come up a lot on the internet. And then, surprisingly enough, lots of penguins. And then because of my husband being a fan of squirrels, I now get squirrel stuff in my feed, which are also kind of cute.
They are pretty cute. Yeah.
Yeah, they're super cute. An otter daughter. Yeah. Oh, you know what I haven't shown off yet? So if you are at home and you are following along and would like to draw along with us, either by creating a fancy beholder otter or one of the other things on the list, we are always interested in seeing your work. And one of the other artists here on the fantastic Idle Champions game continuously creates some amazing art, draws along. So Ivy, once again, kicking butt with this absolutely adorable fox. Why am I forgetting what it was? It was a overgrown owlbear fox. There we go. I had to switch to the other art. Overgrown owlbear fox with all of the fish.
Yeah, I love her interpretation of overgrown, like completely different than the direction that both Michelle and I went. But just we ate so many fishies overgrown.
Also, those fish actually look kind of appetizing, but maybe I'm just in the mood for sushi. I don't know.
Yeah.
But they look so happy. Nom, nom, nom. All right. Anyway, back to this. I will continue to grab suggestions from chat. Also, if you have questions for me or either of our artists, then Go ahead and put it in chat. Sorry, artists and otters and words that are apparently a weird thing for me today, and I have to think about them. Oh, Set Nor wants to know, why is the otter being drawn angry? Well, I'm gonna guess that's the beholder part of our drawings. Or did both of you just go for angry otters?
I think
Just,
we both,
yeah. Beholder.
beholder,
Beholders
definitely.
don't seem very friendly. So.
Ooh, Luke is in the chat and has a suggestion. Instead of invisible, how about translucent?
Ooh, yeah.
That's a great one.
This is gonna sound like such a I don't know art question, but sure, that's why I'm here. How difficult is it to draw something that is see-through?
Go
We
ahead,
probably
Michelle.
need like some kind of background so that
Yeah.
it could look, you could see stuff through it, but
Or some kind of prop, like maybe they're holding, I don't know, a broom, and then you can see like it through their body as well. Like there's a few
Yeah.
different ways that you can demonstrate being see-through.
This is the gelatinous cube problem,
Mm-hmm.
where you can really only see the gelatinous cube when there is stuff on the inside. So
Yeah.
okay, yeah, translucent. That is interesting. Yes, I have heard aluminum lightning. I'm sorry, autumn lightning. Aluminum lightning? Autumn lightning. Otters are pretty vicious when they want to be. I think, yes, agreed. I also think most wild animals, the reason they are wild animals is because they can be vicious when they want to be. Rabbits? I mean, outside of Watership Down, rabbits are terrifying. Everyone thinks of like cute little bunnies and fluffy and the ears and everything, and they have claws.
Yeah. Whenever my dog chases one, I'm like, no, don't catch it. He's
Yeah.
not fast enough though, so we're all good.
Yeah, Big Wig is gonna turn and just be like, so.
Mhm.
So honestly, like a beholder otter, like otters are pretty nasty. So I think an otter can take on a beholder. Why not? Yeah, Staple Lock, Monty Python tried to warn us about rabbits and their sharp, pointy teeth. It was an eccentric performance. Farker011. What's the chances for this drawing, or earlier drawings, to end up as familiars? At the moment, there are no plans outside of this being just a fun time and awesome art with awesome artists and doing fun things with the community. That being said, I don't know. You'll have to stick around and find out. If you do really like the stuff that Alexis and Michelle draw, which, you know, if you're like me, and I know I am, you do, then definitely let us know and follow us on socials and, you know, let the community know. I can't say that there's anything planned at the moment, but we'll let you know if something happens. But for the moment, this is just fun art. Happy fun times with artists. We actually do a lot of streams on this channel that are art related because, you know, when you make a video game, that employs a lot of awesome artists. Here, I'll skip ahead to this screen. So if you are a fan of games and art and pancakes, you should watch these other shows that we've got. We've got Crusaders Weekly, Bushwhacker Weekly, and Griddle Champions. You might see some more otters coming up on those shows. I'm just saying, if you like otters, this is your week. Why is it Otter Week? Because if Discovery can make a Shark Week, why can't CNE have an Otter Week? That's why.
Enough reason for me.
Exactly. It really wasn't a hard sell. Let's say that. When the idea came up of, oh, we should all do like a themed week. What should we do this about? Otters. There was not a lot of people who were protesting.
I think anyone protested.
Oh, hey, Ivy's in the chat. Hi. Ivy wants to know what the keywords are. So this week we have a fancy beholder otter. Yep. Terrifying otters, basically. So if you are drawing along, cute otter, terrifying beholder, fancy.
I think mine's looking more like a kitten beholder.
Mine was looking very cat-like for a little bit too. Meow.
That's interesting. Is it something about like the otter head shape, but the beholder?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, if seals are sea puppies, then otters are definitely sea kitties.
With lots of eye stalks.
Yeah.
I do appreciate though how both of them still do have those very, very scary, sharp, pointy teeth.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
thankies.
someone did ask, thanks to last week, we do have a new adjective on our rolling table, which is with human teeth. That may come up at some point. So yeah, stay tuned for that thing that's going to make everyone have nightmares and also be awesome at the same time. Let's see. Oh, bunch more questions. In the vein of choosing familiars, are there any familiars or creatures you've pitched that have made it into the game? This is those questions that come up and where we always have to sit around for a moment and go, well, what has already made it into the game that we can talk about?
Well, I think probably the biggest one would be Fluffy the pink beholder.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of.
Yeah, because that came from a Extra Life segment that Michelle and I did where we did something very similar to this, but we combined just monsters and adjectives. So we got Fluffy Beholder, and that's how Fluffy was born.
There you go. If you go check out our YouTube, I'm pretty sure that stream is archived on there, and you can go watch the creation of Fluffy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, speaking of YouTube playlists, Babylon Ranger wants to know, speaking of Griddle Champions, do they also have a playlist? Yes. So if you go to our YouTube, that's where all of our stuff that is on this channel is archived. And we have playlists for all of our shows. That's kind of the best way to find episodes that you've been missing because we put out a lot of content. So not everything always gets advertised through YouTube, but it all ends up there and it ends up in playlists. So definitely go check out any of the shows that you've been enjoying. We have a playlist there. And a couple of the shows, not this one, but a couple of other shows also even have podcast versions. So absolutely check that out. Here I will add YouTube into the chat. If you're in the chat, I just put the link into chat. If you're watching this on YouTube, hi. Say hi in the comments and let me know that you enjoy the show, and thanks for watching our videos on demand. I appreciate it.
I
Yes.
can't imagine that this would make a very good podcast.
I mean, it would be an interesting challenge, that's sure. I think I've done podcasts for a very long time. I think what it would end up being would be that the artwork would be the podcast episode artwork. And so you'd kind of have to spoil it for everybody. And then it would just be basically 45 minutes of listening to me talk, which is, all the three of us talk, but,
Yeah.
it would definitely be a different experience. But I know Champions of Psychology and Champions of Lore are both put out as podcasts, and those are excellent options.
I could see it, like if we were planning on doing it, Michelle and I could just start dictating what we're drawing. Like, I am now drawing a line.
I'm drawing a curved line.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm
then
filling in a circle.
then the show
Riveting
turns
stuff.
into a Bob Ross type show. Happy little beholders.
Yeah.
And now some fluffy clouds.
Mhm.
I can't do a Bob Ross. It feels good to do, though, to get into that very calming mindset of happy little trees. And there are no mistakes. As much as the beholder may try to disintegrate you, it's not a mistake. That's just them rolling really well and hitting your DC. Let's see. Oh, Liberation wants to know about the human teeth that are now on the adjective list. Important question. Do the human teeth have to be in its mouth? I mean, I'm leaving that up to the
Doesn't
critics.
specify.
Yeah, it doesn't specify. I think that we don't need those kind of rules with that. We need to be open and free with our human teeth.
I want that to be the tagline for this episode. We need to be open and free with our human teeth.
It's a really good quote.
That's amazing.
Michelle Papadopoulos.
I need to go to Twitter right now and post that. We need to be open and free. Project wants to know any fan art this week. You kind of, yes. So Ivy did some fan art from last week. Here, I'll pull it back up. This awesome overgrown owlbear fox came in. Unfortunately, that's the only piece that we have for this week, or for last week. This week, both. But it is awesome, and now makes me want sushi. So if you are interested in doing fan art, I guess it's not really fan art. It's more drawing along with us. It's being inspired by what our two artists are doing and the rolling tables and giving it a try for yourself. Definitely let us know. Tag us on your relevant social media. If it's on Twitter, give us the hashtag sketching hour and let us know. And let us know if it's okay to feature your versions of whatever it is that we're drawing. I'm a nom nom nem. I'm nem nem nem. I'm nom nom nom. I'm just gonna keep saying it because it's fun. Does YouTube get the comments? So yes, you can comment on our YouTube videos. I know there are some channels that turn the comments off, but we have them on, and we try to answer questions that come in. And so if you are watching on our YouTube, hi, thank you, YouTube people. We appreciate you. I'm probably the one answering your comments, actually. That is one of the things that I do, is I go in and I answer YouTube comments. My job is weird. I do this and then I go answer comments on YouTube. Graphic Wolf, well then, it is never too late to post your art. So,
never, ever.
Nope. I mean, if you come along and you've got something from the last couple weeks, or you've just now been inspired to join us and do your own version of any of these creatures, join us. There's no time limit on any of this art because art is fun. Also, just put teeth wherever you want them because I've already
That's
lost
how you
the
make
quote.
a monster.
because teeth, yes. Thank you, Jay. Jay's like, Lauren, question answerer extraordinaire. That is, I try. A lot of my job is not necessarily knowing the answers, it's knowing who to ask for the actual answers. That's on our Discord, on our YouTube, on Reddit, on Steam, on all the places that I go and try to answer questions or pass along information. A lot of what I'm doing is, it's not that I know the answers, it's I know the people who know the answers. So I bug a lot of people in CD. I'm like, hey, tell me how to answer this question. I don't know what it is.
It's a talent in itself, knowing who to ask.
It's also a talent knowing that I'm surrounded by awesome people in C&E who are not going to be bothered by the fact that my job is to ask them questions. So, people are asking if YouTube can see the Twitch chat. So no, that doesn't get ported on through. You only see Twitch chat if you're watching the Twitch VOD. Which is one of the reasons that I like reading off the stuff in the Twitch chat. So if I've mispronounced anything that you've put down, that is my fault. And if you have typoed something, then I am here to cover for you. All right. So I'm looking at several different places for questions. Oh yeah, everybody's asking about the stalks. So, I mean, quintessential beholder is the eye stalks. Oh, do we need to count? Oh, I just realized as a beholder, we need to count them, don't we?
1, 2, 3. I supposed to have 10, right?
Yeah.
I mean, classic beholder has 10.
Okay.
But, like, maybe the otter beholder has 12. I don't know. It's totally up to you. But I did have that moment of like, wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's become a thing that when you work in D&D, you suddenly have to count eye stalks.
It would have saved some time to just have 2 stocks or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it is a combo monster, so it doesn't have to be.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be legit, or it doesn't have to follow the rules.
Exactly. Once again, it's art. You're having fun. Nothing has to follow the rules. The only rule is, by the end of this, do we have something fun to show off? And so far, every single time. Absolutely. You know what Chat and I do need to come up with, though, while you two continue to do awesome art, is how did this creature come about? Because this might be the most difficult one to come up with a story for.
Well, like beholders, they can, like, they imagine themselves into existence, right?
Mm-hmm.
So maybe this one was like a seafaring beholder and had a weird dream and woke up like this and can't go back because this is the only existence they know now.
Or, I like that idea, but we could make it happy.
Mm-hmm.
Seafaring beholder who saw happy little otter laying on its back, doing otter things.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I probably should have looked up more information about otters. I'm realizing right now I know very little about otters. But in this moment, all right, doing otter things. I'm sure Chat will tell me about otter things. And Beholder said, man, if only I could be an otter.
Mm-hmm.
Live the life of an otter. And then dreamed itself into otter existence? An otter existence? This is a really hard word to say.
An otter existence.
An odd otter existence? So maybe this is a happy beholder. Maybe this is the kind of beholder you want to meet up with, because they're not angry, suspicious, power hungry, believing that everybody's out to get them. Mm-hmm. They're happy otters. It's like I dreamed myself into an awesome, fuzzy, wonderful existence. Otter Facts. Yeah, I feel like I should have Googled otters before all of this. But you know what? That just means I now can make up things, because you know what? If we can draw things and just make up things as we go, then why can't I just make up things as we go about otters? Oh yeah, thanks. Thanks, Pillis Info, for telling the chat to not tell me anything.
One otter fact is, if they come across a top hat, they will immediately put it on.
Okay.
Yep, can't help themselves.
Does it matter what size the top hat is?
It does not.
Okay, so if they have a top hat that... Oh, now are we talking otters, or are we talking about beholder otters?
Just otters.
Okay. Because I think I was immediately thinking beholder otters, and now I'm like, can we fit a top hat on one of these beholder otters that is big enough to fit all of its tentacles, so all you see is the face? And is that terrifying or not?
You'd need 10 tiny top hats, one for each of the stocks.
Oh. That reminds me of the Idle Champions cartoon that has the beholder with the sunglasses, and there's a little pair of... Is it still a pair of sunglasses if there's only one side? Because it was just one thing for one eye. It was one over the big eye and then one over each of the little tiny eyes. So it was just 10
just
different...
Sunglass.
Yeah. 10 tiny top hats. Yes, that is a Karma Kappa. That is absolutely a tongue twister. I'm having enough problems saying otter today, so that might be the only time that I say 10 tiny top hats.
Mm-hmm. It's a new tongue twister.
Yeah. That's something I'll have to use when warming up for being on stream. 10 tiny top hats.
10 tiny top hats, atop 10 eye stalks.
Wow, that's a good one.
Oh. Do these oh, okay. Duna99 wants to know, do these otters have no body? I mean, I ain't got no body. Nobody cares for me. Nobody. Sorry.
Its head and its body are one and the same.
Yes.
So if its head and its body are one and the same, doesn't that mean that the head is the body?
And the body is the head.
Yes. And does that mean that both of these creatures have eyes, a nose, and a mouth on their body?
Yes.
Yes.
I'm going to continue asking really leading questions. I like this.
And limbs on their head.
And limbs on their heads. I do like how both of you have also added ears. I think those, yeah. pointy
Can't
ears.
resist those little cute otter ears.
So we know we now know a little bit more about beholder otter anatomy. That's another thing that's hard to say. Beholder otter anatomy. It's time for a fast otter fact. All right, Charoom. Otters have the thickest fur of any mammal. I don't know if that's true, but you said it in chat, and so I believe it.
Mm-hmm. 5 years from now, I'll be talking to someone like, did you know?
Otter facts. Yes.
Yeah, I can't remember where I heard it, but I'm sure it's true.
Yeah.
True facts about the otter. Thickest fur. I mean, that kind of makes sense. They are aquatic mammals, and so keeping warm in cold water, which otters get into some pretty cold climates, right? This is, once again, I should have looked this up. I should have been more prepared. This is my fault. The internet is now, for the rest of my life, going to be telling me otter facts, and I might not be upset about that at all.
Well, we do have otters here, and while it might not be as cold as the Arctic, but the ocean is not totally swimmable all the time.
No, the winter would be freezing.
I mean, there are those people who in the middle of the winter like to go jump into the freezing water, and more power to them. That is, I mean, I grew up in Buffalo. I can stand a lot of cold, but that's not me. Oh, and we have new people coming in from the game. Welcome to the Sketching Hour. I am Lauren, and I am here with two of our amazing Idle Champions artists. They are currently creating... I've just lost the adjective. It was fancy?
Fancy.
Fancy beholder otters. Because don't you want your otters to have lots of eye stalks and be fancy? And they're drawing that right now. The reason we're doing fancy beholder otters, well, it's Otter Week. Why? Because it's Otter Week. Because otters. Also, we rolled on these rolling tables and we got fancy and beholder. So if we've created something that is both cute and horrifying, well, that was the plan. Also, if you are here for the Idle Champions chess code that's above my head, you can also get that in chat. Go into the chests portion of your game, put that in there for an electrum chest, and gear up your champions and think about all of the wonderful things that come with fancy beholder otters. And stick around because we're creating a backstory for these creatures, which is always funny. Ooh, people in chat. So we've got Meme Kits wants to know, are we adding tuxedo shirts or dapper jackets or fancy vests? I mean, I do see the crown that Michelle's got going on there.
Yeah. I've added little jewels to his kelp eye stalks that don't have eyes on them.
Well, I mean, beholder otters don't necessarily need to have eye stalks. They can just have stalks. We are creating our own funness here.
Yep.
Karma Kappa says, so this is Xanathar's cousin, Otter. Otthar. I'm pretty sure I did not pronounce that perfectly, but, you know. Well, welcome to this week, and where it's Otter Week, and by the end of the week, I don't know if I'm going to be able to say otter anymore, because it's already, it's one of those words where if you say it too much, now it doesn't feel like I'm saying it correctly.
Yeah, it loses all meaning.
Yeah, that's a weird thing that happens, right? You say a word over and over, and then by the end of it, you are questioning whether it's a word that even exists.
Yeah, I find that especially when I'm like, if I'm trying to pick a font for like a weekend promo or something, and then I'm flipping through all the fonts, eventually I'll be like, did I spell that right? Is that even a word?
Is it you're using the same word and just cycling through the fonts, or does font become the word that you no longer think has any meaning?
Oh, cycling, using like a string of words or something and then cycling through the fonts. Yeah, it's very weird. Makes me question a lot of things.
That's happened in D&D to me a couple of times, especially if I end up casting the same spell over and over and over again. If we get into a big fight and I'm healing people and I'm using, healing word, and then all of a sudden by the end of the fight I'm like, is healing even a thing? What does heal even mean? It becomes one of those weird moments. Oh, we've got more fast otter facts. Charoom. We know they must be true because it's on the internet. Otters are incredibly social and chatty animals. Grown otters have at least 22 different chirps, and even otter pups have a dozen.
Oh, cute.
I hope that's true.
I hope
Yeah.
that's true. Otter Facts. 20. Okay, so that begs the question, do beholder otters chirp or do they make different noises?
Oh, I like the chirping. That sounds adorable.
Yeah.
Well, maybe they chirp and they do something else. All right, chat, I need to know, besides chirping, what noises do beholder otters make? Now, and considering that beholders can speak, so do beholder otters also speak? Or what noises do they make? Maybe something horrifying to, like, balance out the cuteness. I don't know. Oh, Havant says semantic... that is a hard word to say. Semantic citation. When a word just becomes a sound. Okay.
Word of the day.
The more you know. Astral the Undying says they say behold in different tones of voices.
Yes.
Behold! Behold! Chirp, 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 chirp. Behold! Behold my chirping. I like that. I like that a lot. Oh! Fast otter fact! Chirum is back. Otters can be trained and can even make good pets. Fishermen in some regions train otters to help herd fish for them into nets.
Smart little guys.
And when they do that and they show up with a whole school of fish, they pop up to the surface and they go, behold! Oh, that is adorable. Okay. I really hope all of these otter facts are true.
Especially the behold part.
Well, yes. I mean, once again, I've said that on the internet, and so it must be true. Absolutely. Clangdon Travis says otter beholders are only encountered in otter quests, so they only speak otter. Yeah, otter is quickly becoming the word that doesn't have any meaning for me anymore. Also, I'm desperately trying to make sure I say otter and not otter, although I kind of like the idea of otter beholders are only encountered in otter quests, and so they only speak otter because they are otters. Thank you and good night. That's the only funny thing I'm going to say tonight. Woohoo! Yeah.
It gets confusing real fast.
Listen, chat, if you take one thing away from today, I see a lot of you typing fun things to say in chat. I hope all of you are at home right now trying to actually say any of this. Because Renzera just typed otter beholders. And yes, while that looks appealing, try to say that. Have fun. That's your homework for this week. Everybody, some of you are going to give me art. Some of you are going to go and do awesome #sketching our art and send it in to us. And then some of you would like audio of you, a recording of you saying otters. Or any of the things that are otter authors. Yes, all of those words. I want to hear you all trying to say it. And probably succeeding. Are otters the ones that hold hands while sleeping to not float away from their mate? Oh,
Yes.
they might be. Yes.
They are.
Okay.
I've seen video evidence.
Oh?
Yeah.
Wild otters or like from...
The ones I've seen are from aquariums, but I'm
Okay.
imagining they do it in the wild too.
I think you're right. I have heard that before. So I think that is an otter fact that is probably actually true. Does that mean beholder otters hold eye stalks?
Yes.
Well, how would they? With their mouth, maybe?
Well, they can just wrap eye stalks with each other.
That's true. Yeah.
Well, and especially Alexis, you got yours because they're tentacle they're kelp eye stalks. They're
Yes,
kelp
exactly.
stalks.
Mhm. It's so it can blend in with its surroundings, like hide amongst the kelp forests.
So
Yeah.
That actually kind of makes sense because otters they go after sea anemones and crustaceans, right? Because they're the ones that can crack open shells and things.
Yes.
And beholders just go after everything.
Mm-hmm.
So why wouldn't a beholder otter be a predator?
Uh-oh.
And it is at this point I'm going to remind the chat I'm not just going to say anything that you put into the chat. So no, I will not say that. There was that deer from last week that I wanted to say that I couldn't say. That is an adorable deer, and you should all go look up adorable deers. Oh, you know what we need, because we're in the last 20 minutes of the show. The other thing I need from chat while I continue to ask questions, if you have questions for our artists or for me, go ahead and put that in chat. But also, we need to name these two. Now that we've got some really amazing features. I'm constantly amazed that within 40 minutes, the two of you just create a complete awesome piece of art.
We're both really just drawing in a blind panic. We're like, oh God.
Yeah, basically.
Draw faster.
That's funny. I'm talking in a blind panic. It's like we're doing this whole show in a blind panic together. Great.
Yeah.
After 5 episodes, though, I should not be surprised that the two of you come up with amazing art, and it's not looking like it's a blind panic, but here we are. But I need names. We need to come up with names for these two fancy beholder otters. Tizzy Sar says the left one is Marcus and the right one is Wilson.
Mm-hmm.
The right one is Medusa. The left is Lilac and the right is Oliver. That's from Xavier.
Mm-hmm.
Aww. I kind of like the Lilac and the Oliver.
Yeah.
That's cute. Otto and Thomas. I don't know what. Yeah, both Thomas and Oliver. Not necessarily obvious, but they work so well. I'm just writing some of these down. I do like Lilac and Oliver. Let's see. Left is Princess Stalky and the right is Salty Pete.
Salty Pete.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cute.
Greg and Meg.
Also very good. Peanut butter jelly.
I mean, really, peanut butter and jelly work for everything.
It might be taken already, but...
Although there's something amusing about the idea of every single week us naming these two creatures peanut butter and jelly, and then just the next week going jelly and peanut butter, peanut butter and jelly, jelly and peanut butter.
Mm-hmm.
RG Wolf says purple one is Jughead and the brown one is Kelpish. Ooh, I like that. Karma Kappa says Behotter Rex and Kelpie. Oh, Lord Fuzzy Cheeks.
Oh.
Oh, Lord Fuzzy Cheeks. That's adorable. Okay, I'll let chat continue to talk amongst themselves while I look at questions that have come through. Yes. Please, wonderful moderators, go ahead and continue to fill up my questionnaire with wonderful otter facts. I would like nothing more than to learn all I can from the chat about otters. Please give me all of the otter facts. Why not? Ooh, Nutella and jam. Yeah, peanut butter and jelly, peanut butter and jelly, peanut butter and jelly, Nutella and jam. Andrew Merch says the one on the right looks like a fabulous tadpole. A fadpole, if you will. Ooh, Lieutenant Farva, I like that. Perfect and oddty. Spelled P-U-R-F-E-C-T and O-D-T-T-I-E. That was harder to say than it should have been. Everything today has been harder to say than it should have been. Yeah, Fabpole, Orson the otter. Oh, Otello. How did we not see that? Denabma. One of these, I think, has to be named Otello.
But which one?
Well, only the artist can figure that one out. You're each gonna have to claim a name.
Otello and Captain Fuzzy Cheeks.
You know what? Done. Otello and Captain, and I'm writing it down, which means that it's now true. Captain Fuzzy Cheeks the third.
Yeah. And poor Captain Fuzzy Cheeks, he's like, I swear I'm a very distinguished otter beholder.
Absolutely. 100%.
I demand respect.
I am the third of my line of Otter Cheeks.
Captain Fuzzy Cheeks the third.
I was dreamed into an existence by a very distinguished beholder, by the Xanathar themselves. You can go ask them. Oh, sorry about that. I had to slip into D&D mode for a second. Cassius, yes. I will probably have to look up some squirrel facts. But what Todd does on Heroes of the Plains and reality are two different things. And knowing squirrel facts might not help with whatever happens next week. Tiny spoilers for Heroes of the Plains, for those of you that are watching. I don't know, maybe next week in honor of whatever happens on Heroes of the Plains, I will ask our artists if the cute animal can be a squirrel. It would make Luke happy. Luke has become a huge fan of squirrels. Oh, we have more Otter Facts. Hold on. It's time for Fast Otter Facts! Yay! Otters are incredibly playful, and they're even known to build little slides for themselves to slide down. Aww.
That's another one I hope is really true.
Yeah.
I want all these to be true.
Purple.
I want every single one. I'm gonna look up all of. No, I'm not gonna look up any of these. I'm just gonna believe that they're all true because they're adorable. Thank you, Chirum. We also have. Oh, we have more otter facts. I did ask for them. Otters can swim up to 7 miles per hour, 3 times faster than the average human. They can even hold their breath for 3 to 4 minutes and can close their ears and nostrils. Like with flaps? Do they have like flappy things that go over their ears and nostrils? Or like with their hands? Can they just not do both at the same? That I may have to look up just to figure out how that works anatomy wise. I don't want an anatomy lesson in chat. I'll pass on that one. I'll wiki that information. But yes.
Just imagining an otter like plucking its nose with its little paw and like jumping into the water.
Yeah.
So cute.
I'm just trying to figure out how do you close your ears and your nose at the same time. I mean, you can kind of get an ear and your nose, but I don't know. That's later Otter Facts. Do not anger a group of otters because you won't be able to swim away. Well, yeah. I'm also not that good of a swimmer, so chances are, like, otters being faster than the average swimmer means they're going to be super fast. Faster than me, at least. So, yes, please do not anger otters. Also, they're adorable. Also, don't anger beholder otters. Oh, you know what we haven't figured out yet? At least with, I guess with both of these, it would work, although... Alexis's doesn't. Your kelp doesn't have eyes. Those are jewels.
Yeah, I was gonna make them eyes initially, but then I was like, oh, I need to make it fancy.
I like it. I like the crown, but that does mean, Michelle, you've got eyes. You've got the eye stalks. Does that mean each of those eye stalks are like a regular beholder, and where it's the disintegrate and the make turn to stone and the charm and the fly and all of that, or do they do other things? I'm not going to ask you to come up with 10 things, but
maybe more like underwater related. Like I think turning to stone would be cool because whatever's swimming and they turn into stone, it would just sink. So that'd be kind of a terrifying way to go. But the other ones maybe.
Blow
Maybe
bubbles.
Yeah, shoots bubbles.
Bubble gun, bubble eye ray. I like that.
Yeah.
Also, now I kind of want to watch this beholder otter. Because was it the basilisks that we had that also that were aquatic because they were penguin basilisks, so they would turn their prey to stone and then so they would sink. So I wonder if these are creatures that work together.
Yeah,
could be.
good.
Also, now I'm kind of terrified by the idea of like this being such a predator that's turning something to stone, and then because otters they grab crustaceans and bring them up to the surface and then whack them with stones in order to crack open like sea anemones and things. That's kind of terrifying.
It really is.
They've taken something turned to stone, and now this is how they hunt. Aquatic beholder fancy otters. Yeah. Well, if anyone in chat has any suggestions for what some of these other eye stalks can do in these last few minutes, I am open to suggestions. I do like the shooting bubbles, though. That's pretty good.
Maybe shooting ink too, to blind them with the water.
Herkwork wants to know, how do these otters smash clams on their bellies with the power of adorableness?
Or magic.
Or magic. Or you got 10 eye stalks or 10 kelpie tentacles.
Maybe one of them casts Mage Hand, specifically for cracking stuff. But it's shaped like a little fuzzy paw.
Oh! Adorable death. Oh! Fast otter fact! Yes. Thank you, Charum. Beholder otters came about when a stray otter got lost in a deep underground tunnel, encountered a long, lost, and lonely beholder in an isolated cave, and was sealed by adventurers long ago. Now its beholder otter offspring have escaped using the watery passageways. And it must be true because I read about it here from Fast Otter Facts. Thank you. I appreciate that. And Karma Kappa is getting in on the Otter Facts. Otters were first officially observed and described by a shipwrecked scientist, specifically sea otters. Oh, and Graphic Wolf wants to know, can these swim, or do they just hover over the water?
Mine definitely swims. I'm wondering if it could float too. That would be kind of cool.
I mean, why not both?
Yeah,
I think a little bit of both.
Yeah.
Yeah, both. I mean,
I can see yours, Alexis. When yours comes out, all the kelp just kind of like hangs all wet.
all droopy.
That's less cute, but yeah.
Yeah, most cute creatures, once they're wet, are slightly less cute. But then they like shake like dogs, and then all their hair poofs out in a fuzzy puff, and then they're adorable again. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, as you are finishing up, oh, look at the crab. As you are finishing up with these fancy beholder otters, I am going to remind our wonderful listeners and watchers at home, if you are playing along, if you would like to create your own awesome art using your own role on the random table, or if you'd like to give a try at a fancy beholder otter, definitely post it on the social media of your choice and let us know. You can follow us on social media in a whole bunch of places: Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. To use Twitter, use the hashtag sketchinghour in order to let us know, or just tag us, because we love to see it, and we'll go ahead and feature your art on the show. And let me put socials in chat. There we go. And if you like this show and you want to see more amazing otters, because, like, why not? They're adorable, they're amazing, and maybe you'll get more Otter Facts. Who knows? Check out Crusaders Weekly with Erica and Kat. That happens on Thursdays. So tomorrow, 10 o'clock in the morning Pacific. There's Bushwhacker Weekly with Nick and Georgia, which happens on Fridays at 3:30. And sandwiched in between the two for your morning art pancake joy is Griddled Champions. That's at 10 o'clock on Fridays, all on this channel. All of them are amazing artists doing awesome things, probably with otters. Awesome.
More otters.
all the art with otters. That's a tongue twister right there too. Yes. And I think we have decided that this is going to be Otello and Captain Fuzzy Cheeks III.
Sounds about right to me.
Yeah, I love it. I definitely love it. Well, as we are closing this out, you can find all of us hanging out doing Idle Champions things. Michelle, where can we find more of you on the internet?
I'm on Instagram at Michelle Papadopoulos and on Twitter at Art of Michelle.
And Alexis, how about you?
I'm on Twitter at Alexis Theroux and on Instagram at alexis.theroux.
And you can find me on Twitter at OboLauren, right down there. You can also find me just hanging out in the Idle Champions Discord or the Reddit or the other places that you can find Idle Champions. Also in Idle Champions as Orkira, because I'm a fan of this game, so much so that I'm super happy to have a character in it. And definitely come back next week where we might have another theme week. I don't know. Or we might have all 3 of our tables back and we will all be rolling on the fun tables. Thank you to our amazing moderators, Sasha and Jay, who are basically the people who keep this entire channel running, especially while we are just having fun making art and talking at cameras. Thank you to the wonderful people at Wizards of the Coast for giving us such inspirational creatures to pull from as beholder otters, fancy beholder otters. Thank you to Dylan because he's awesome. And thank you to all of you in chat for hanging out with us. This has been this week's The Sketching Hour. Come back next week, same time, same place, and we'll see you next encounter.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.
Thanks.